everybody, this is John for MTG Nexus coming at you with some Burn tonight on tonight's Modern stream, but we're starting out with some Pioneer, day number 11 of Midnight Modern streaming. So some of you may know there was a shakeup in the Pioneer format today. The bans are in effect, I do believe. So I guess we'll find out. Ando, once again, thanks for the support, by the way. So as far as I know, the bans are in place. Everything was supposed to go in place at some point today. We are starting out with kind of a stock Boros Burn list that did well in the pre-ban meta. Don't really know how I would switch the deck up terribly much. I do know, from what I've been seeing on Twitter, it looks like there's a lot of 5-color Niv floating around, which is probably not good news for a Burn deck, but you know, until we dig into the format, we really can't tell too much. You know, just Uro piles in general are going to be a little bit rough for the sub-powered Burn deck compared to what we're used to in Modern. To that end, this deck is somewhat more akin to a Prowess deck than a Burn deck. You are leveraging creatures much more than you are your spells, because the spells in Pioneer are a lot weaker. Yes, you do have access to Boros Charm, but there are no lightning bolts in this format, so you're using things like Wild Slash, Lightning Strike, Wizard's Lightning as your burn spells of choice, and then you're leveraging a lot of 1-drops, things like E2 Lava Runner, Monastery Swift Spear, Soulscar Mage, and Zurgo, as well as some Viashina Pyromancers and Eidolons. Your wizard count in this deck is 12, Harry, because you have 4 Runner, 4 Soulscar, 4 Pyromancer, and then 2 to pair with your Wizard's Lightnings. Otherwise, Wizard's Lightning can cost 3, which can get a little bit awkward sometimes. You do run a slightly lower land count because you don't have fetch lands to thin the deck. So 19 is generally where this deck ends up at. And then you have 4 copies of Light Up the Stage to give you a little bit of velocity in the mid-game. Trying to hit land drops, trying to find more spells to finish the game off. Sideboard, 4 copies of Chain of the Rocks. These are kind of mandatory. These are the Path to Exile-esque cards in the format. There is the downside of you have to have a mountain in play, and if either the Chain of Rocks or the mountain get blown up, the creature comes back. So it's not always a permanent solution, especially against decks playing like things like Abrupt Decay or Assassin's Trophy. 3 copies of Rest in Peace. This is the card to watch out for. There's a lot of decks right now that may not be running this anymore. This is mainly a hedge against things like Kethis and Underworld Breach. Those card decks are now gone, so we'll see if there's any decks where we want to bring in Rest in Peace. Maybe against the Uro piles, but, you know, just the front end of the Uro can be sometimes enough damage to what we're trying to do. Ash Zealot is an interesting hate card that probably gets significantly weaker with Breach gone, but, you know, there are some Torrential Gearhulk decks and some stuff floating around, so also Uro decks, correct, so it will have some text in those matchups in addition to being a 2/2 first strike haster. 3 copies of Searing Blood for any type of smaller creature deck, so mono black in particular, and the Mirror. Collective Defiance is an interesting card. This is a card that I don't believe I ever actually have cast this card. I saw it pop up in some of the Prowess lists when Loris was kind of first a thing. Target player discards all the cards in their hand, then draws that many cards. Collective Defiance deals 4 damage to target creature. Deals 3 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. Escalate 1, so if you go 3 red, target player gets to draw a new hand, deals 4 damage to a creature, deals 3 damage to an opponent or planeswalker. So, interesting card that can allow you to kind of cash in some extra lands and some stuff. And then finally, Luris, kind of a free roll. So that said, let us hop into the league and see how this goes. I have not had the opportunity to play much Pioneer anyway of late, so it being a new format means kind of whatever existing knowledge I did have of the format kind of went out the window. So we shall see what happens. This is kind of going to give away that we're either we're on the draw. We have 2 1-drops and a Lutz. I do think we keep this hand but it is kind of awkward. Looks like we're immediately up against a control deck, which could be bad. Wonder if this is a Luca deck. Scorching Dragonfire. Actually, we want to lead on Lava Runner here. Okay. Opponent stuck on 2 lands. Not anymore. Take 3 to cast this. Alright, let's hit an Eidolon and an Inspiring Vantage. Can't really cast any other spells this turn, so pass turn. Shark Typhoon for 0. Yeah, this wouldn't surprise me if this is a Luca deck. And no verdict. Okay. So I'm not going to cast Eidolon here. This really smells like a Oath of Heliod. So I'm going to instead hold up Wizard's Lightning here, because I'd rather not get blown out by nonsense like Oath or Shark Typhoon into Agent of Treachery. Okay, so the Wreckage I'm less upset about. Losing the Eidolon kind of sucks. I wasn't necessarily expecting to play around that. But it is what it is. I don't know if they smiled on us or not. Like, Burn was reasonably well positioned in the Pioneer format anyway. So can we just kill them there? 12, 8. I think we can put them to 1 here. To 12. Okay. Not too many removal spells you gotta play around for 1 mana in the format. I just screwed up my math there. Needed the Wizard's Lightning it in step there. Oh well. Yeah, but once again, Burn was relatively well positioned against said combo decks. It was a rough matchup for Inverter. It was a rough matchup for, or it was a close matchup for Lotus Breach. Kethis is a little weird because they could have like oaths and stuff in their deck, but their mana base had to be terribly painful. And then Heliod Ballista was the one that was always kind of weird for me. Alright, so we're up against a control deck. Honestly, our main deck's pretty well set up at what they do. Zealot is a nice hedge in some spots because it has haste. I still don't know if they are a... Like, obviously we saw Dream Trawler, but they could still be a Luca deck with Dream Trawler. Or maybe they're just plain Jeskai Control. I really don't know. Like, what do I even cut for the Zealots, is the question mark. Like, Wild Slashes? Could bring in Chain of the Rocks for something like Lyra or Baneslayer. Rest in Peace, you could argue you might want to bring in against Dig Through Time that we saw. It's really kind of hard to say. This hand's pretty decent. A lot of early pressure. A Lutz. Probably going to lean on Soulscar into Viashino. Really want to save Zergo as kind of like either a hasty threat or another turn once they've played their... Well, even in Legacy, cards have been getting banned some lately. Might have too many creatures in this hand, honestly. Seems crazy to say, but... What, Legacy you think more cards need banned? I'm going to play Lutz because I really want to hit additional land drops. Let's hit a lay up the stage there. Deafening Clarion. Oh, right, that card's still legal in the format. Yep, that card is still legal in this format. Right. Cause that's good on Wizards. Really playing into a Settle the Wreckage or... Time Raveler is a annoying card. So what is the best... best way to handle Teferi, but at the same time get in the most damage. How much damage could we get in this turn? Get in 8 damage if we ignore Teferi. 10 total. Still think we're supposed to kill Teferi. 2. This goes face. Either way, I think we have to burn 6 damage on Teferi, so... Well, the problem with Teferi wasn't even Teferi's activated abilities, it's actually its static ability that's obnoxious. So either way, this card has absorbed them a huge amount of damage. Kind of unfortunate if we get swept, but I think they would have played a sweeper if they had one, honestly. Feels like they're just buying time towards a Dream Trawler. So this is an awkward spot, right? Like, we got blown up by Settle the Wreckage last game. So how much am I supposed to play around Settle the Wreckage here? Interesting question. Looks like they have it again. Do they have a second one? Guess we'll find out. Target creature back on top of its opponent's library. Yeah, I know, but either way, we were... Yeah, we're just dead here. I guess we could hit a top deck to win here, but they're getting at 5 at least this turn. Okay, that's a card. Torrential Gearhulk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feels like Torrential Gearhulk. But, in the name of science, I really want to know. Since we're dead next turn anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and send everything in. And I really want to bait out the Torrential Gearhulk. Yeah, wasting all that energy on those Teferis might have been incorrect. Yep. Alright, good to know about Torrential Gearhulk. Chain to the Rocks is kind of useless against whatchamacallit. Rest in Peace still feels really kind of clanky against a deck that's got Dig Through Time and Torrential Gearhulks. Like, I think the mistake there was spending so much energy on those stupid Teferis. I think that was my mistake that game. Sand's excellent. Doesn't appear they had any 1 mana removal. It looks like their main removal was like Scorching Dragonfire and Azorius Charm. Them all getting to 4 feels like we really just want to get this game over with. See if they main phase their removal or not. Smart control player. I applaud you. I applaud their main phase use of removal against a deck with Boros Charm. I'm not even being condescending there. Yep. Okay, do that, do this, put them to 1, right? 1 is not 0, unfortunately. Timely Reinforcements does exist in this format now. Please don't be timely. Okay, Scorching Dragonfire I can deal with. Well, if you have Azorius Charm, you have Azorius Charm. That's whatever. Doesn't look like it. Well, so what Burn does is punish mulligans and bad hands. Actually, I will be right back. I'm going to go get some more water. So that, I'm going to run a quick ad break, and I do apologize for that. Sorry about that. We are back. So that was just plain Jeskai Control. It's interesting. Would have felt like that's the kind of deck that would want to run Deafening Clarion. Like, the only sweeper we hit out of them, or saw out of them, was Settle the Wreckage. And I understand you want to leverage your Torrential Gearhulks as much as possible, but that just feels kind of eh. We're up against the 10th degree. Alright, 2 land, 3 lands, Lava Runner. Hand seems fine. Probably one more land than we want ideally, but hand seems fine. So, blue-black control maybe? Notably, it cannot be Inverter. However, I know Doomwake was preparing to run some type of blue-black control deck, and I think one of the Japanese streamers... Okay! I have no idea what's going on now. The brews are real. So, okay, I'm a confuzzled here. I don't understand what's going on. It's a me, the self-mill deck, complete with creeping chills to make your burn day completely miserable. Dear Fugen? Cat oven? I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Maybe? I don't want to know what's up. I think we're gonna take some hits. The cat's gonna come back like it's somebody's bitch. They've got foodsies. Decision time. What spells do I play? Is here? No, I don't. Playing this. In case our opponent gets sloppy, I want to be able to lightning strike the kitty cat here. Okay, they did not get sloppy. Triggers. We are currently facing a catastrophe, complete with creeping chills. Well, at least we found a matchup where Rest in Peace will be good. Right? 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 Holy wowzers. Okay. That's a combo I didn't see coming. Okay. Okay. And Emery gets back their ovens. Okay. I can respect the madness. Especially when the madness puts that much power into play, and we're pretty much dead to it. Unlock the madness. So on a scale of 1 to dead, we're probably pretty dead here. I think we're officially Meowmix.burn deck. So, Lava Runner, Strike, the Emery, they get back a Cauldron Familiar, block 2 things, untap, kill us. Yeah, so we're just kind of... I guess we make them do it, but it's not great for the home team, I'll put it that way. Oh, they saw through our clever traps. How could they ever do that? Cat. Cat. Cat, cat, concede. Alright. Casts a spell from our graveyard. Definitely want the rips. Searing Blood's like okay in some spots. Particularly if they don't have Oven. Boros Charm's probably the worst card here. Followed closely by Eidolon. Chain of the Rocks. We submit like that. I think this hand's okay, but once again, really don't know the capabilities of our opponent's particular deck. Playing Zergo first, since it doesn't have haste. Creeping Chill? Sure. This really feels bad doing this. I guess this is closer to the equivalent of Pioneer version of Crabvine than actually Dredge. There's something kind of disturbing about a card named Venture Deeper. Haunted Dead? Alright, man, they really are going deep. Alright, let's not play a land. Let's go into attack here. Maybe we'll get lucky and hit a Rest in Peace off this Lutz. No such number. No such luck. So, Haunted Dead would bring back Prized Amalgam. What does that require? Discard 2 cards. Okay. This makes the Wizard's Lightning cheaper anyway, so I'm going to play a pre-combat. I still think we're in a world of trouble, and a lot of my fears about Eidolon are kind of proven true in this game, so... I'm honestly surprised they didn't Haunted Dead to get a blocker there. That seems unnecessarily risky. Am I dead on the crackback? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not currently. If they hit a Creeping Chill or have a Creeping Chill in hand, I guess it could be lethal. Don't think I actually want to attack here. Because, yeah, I could potentially get in for 4 damage if I kill the spirit. But then they just get another activation of Haunted Dead. And whereas if I stay back, as long as they don't hit another Creeping Chill, I have many different outs that just end the game. Frees up me to play a little bit longer of a game. Oh, for Lord's sake. Okay. Well, that could have gone better. Dead. Yeah. That it definitely is. They definitely have some interesting synergies. Don't think we can keep this hand. This hand's more keepable, but still pretty bad. Schmedster, I remember that username, but I don't remember why. Grinder. Hey, just what I wanted, another land, right? That's what I figured. He was on vampires. This is a rough matchup. Like, if we had a good hand, this game would be much more manageable, but we don't, so, you know. I think it's going to be one of those games where gotta hope they don't have Kalidas, and Loris is going to have to earn his, oh, rough. Yeah. Guess I should have played around Mutavault there. Problem is, this could easily get thought seized, but I suppose we trade resources and cards for that. Champion of Dusk, go to 10. Alright, Lyris, you're going to be working overtime this game, buddy. As long as you don't die. That is no guarantee either. Kalitas. Well, Kalitas makes things more difficult. Alright, well, things and stuff for 100, Alex. Hopefully you don't have a removal spell to blow this up, but I get the feeling you do. Okie dokie. Got another Kalitas. Oh, feels like another Champion of Dusk. Well, our opponent's got some stones. I'll grant him that much. Just take this hit. Sure. Yeah. Do you attack? Boros Charm for the win? Battlefield Forge for the loss. Chain of the Rocks. Searing Bloods are pretty reasonable in some spots. Actually, our Searing Bloods reasonable. So they kill Dust Legion Zealot and Mutavault, I guess. So yeah, I guess it's reasonable enough. Go down that. Zergo seems not great here. Seems just too risky against a Fatal Push deck and Thoughtseize deck. Hand's much more interesting. Probably put back either Eidolon or Wild Slash here. Probably gonna get Thoughtseized and Like Our Lives. Yep, Fatal Push incoming then. Presume this is a Fatal Push. an opportunity with Wild Slash there, but, you know. Maximizing damage isn't necessarily... yeah, I'm glad we saved that Wild Slash. Opponent has the 3-mana sweeper. Good luck to him. Alright, not the best draw in the world, but I suppose not the worst here either. Okay, Luris. Please, no. Cletus one time. Chain of the Rocks, please. Well. This is the way the Cletus goes nuts, the Cletus goes nuts, the Cletus goes nuts. This is the way the Cletus goes nuts. So early in the morning. Yeah, I don't like going all in here. Gonna say, one Chain to the Rocks later and you're kind of sad you did that. So we have 4 outs in 45 cards. All right. Well, that was rough. Said a fairer format may not actually have been better for Burn. As crazy as that sounds. Now, granted, our draw in game 1 was very mediocre off that mulligan, but you know, Cletus is like a 1-card wrecking crew for this version of Burn. Luris Mirror. Got them all in this hand. The one-landers are real. I guess we keep this one back. The Pyromancers. up against Auras. Even worse for the home team. Black-white Auras, rough matchup. I say land would be good. Let's is a reasonable magic card. Missing on lands is going to be the death of us here. To 16, so Spear goes bye-bye. Okay. I feel like they have a Karametra's Blessing here, maybe. This is the way we build a stack, build a stack, build a stack. This is the way we build a stack. So late in the morning, evening, whatever the heck it is. To 7. Shram. Shram buddy, stop me. Triggers. Alright. On to the sideboarded games. So Pioneer, Filter, Orzhov Auras. Don't actually get a ton better in this matchup in the post-board games, it looks like. But they're already pretty reasonable against us game 1. We just happen to get a little bit lucky there. Let's see, out of Life's Bounty. How's Blessing worded? Enchanted creature also gains hexproof and indestructible. Still think we want all of our 1 mana removal on deck. And then Boros Charms can probably go out. Searing Blood's kinda eh. So how is everybody doing this evening? Board out those pesky lands. Yeah, we say that, and then we need lands in this hand. They kept 7. I mean, yeah, we're keeping this. Probably getting rid of the Battlefield Forge here. I think we just play kill. Kill all the creatures. Kill all the creatures. Hushburner. Clothis Prison style deck in standard? Oh, they're bringing Luris to their hand. Sure. What kind of prison elements are there in standard that I'm missing? Luris? Okay. Alright, well, I hate to be a cartouche, but time to kill your Luris. Alright, so the 3/2 Dream is alive. Interesting. Let's put it in the... One thing it is lacking is removal, though. That's keeping 7 as well. Spire Bluff Canal go. I have no idea what that means. Yep. So Phoenix, Feels like a Phoenix variant. Yep, confirmed. Well, it was only bad because the decks that were... I honestly don't know, Ando. I've never played it, so... It's possible it's complete garbage. I don't know. To say anything else, I'd be talking out my butt. Well, it's going on a cruise. Well, the format's slowed down, so it remains to be seen if it's too slow or not. They have land third spell, or... Nope. Okay. Gotta make sure with these battlefield forges that we tap our mana correctly to avoid any unnecessary damage. Yeah, like they're probably going to get back Phoenix this turn minimum. So next turn we have to decide if we want to try to feel like a nut, or sometimes we don't. Play Sulfur Falls into Opt. Okay. So probably getting an Arclight back this turn. Chart a Coursel. Second Phoenix. Second Arclight Phoenix. Gonna race. You're not. Well, I hate to tell you, friend, but this isn't gonna end particularly well for you. I guess you can always rebuy them. I don't know. Seven points of burn in hand. So I traded 5 points of burn for 4 points of damage. Might have been okay. Now if we rip like a lightning strike, well, not necessarily. They could have an Izzet charm, so ripping lightning strike may not actually be lethal. Oh boy. Pyromancer's a problem. Treasure Cruise? So I think we're at the point where creatures are kind of useless. So I think I just let this Pyromancer go. Either way, we're getting through for 2 damage, so I'm cool with this exchange. Block there, take 2. Go to 1. And, like, historically, okay, so in Modern, Burn was one of Phoenix's bad matchups anyway. Yep, got a young Peasy. Fiery Temper, sure. And just enough to play around. Izzet Charm. Those charms can go out. Zergo can go out. They don't actually play spells from their graveyard, so Zealot's not great. Rest in Peace is good-ish. Searing Blood is a non-bow with Rest in Peace, but still pretty reasonable in this spot. And then card is not actually good here. I don't want Collective Defiance. I'm going to shave one more. Shave a Pyromancer on the draw. Like, shaving our wizard count isn't ideal, but another bunch of 2-drops, 1-lander. Can't keep this one. Not great, but I think we keep this one. Wild Slash. Alright, Lava Runner. Lava Runner's kind of mixed here. Like, they could have Lightning Axe, and this is kind of whatever for us. You could have Wild Slash, Lightning Axe, whatever. Magma Spray, sure. Charter Course. Hopefully we rip a land. Ding. They have Izzet Charm, they have Izzet Charm here, it's kind of whatever. Looks like they do. Alright. Hardcast Darklight? Yep. This is just a Doomblade now. It doesn't deal them damage, which is unfortunate, but is what it is. They don't have a ton of threats in their deck, so they have like Pyromancers and Arc Lights Maybe Thing in the Ice. Okay, well that's a threat. That's definitely a threat. They're adding mana? Okay. Okay. So where is my Chandra's defeats when I need them? Where are my Chandra's defeats when I need them? I'm gonna say the resource trading game seemed like a good idea right up until the point they dropped a Chandra. This is a trap hand, isn't it? I still think we keep it, but it's definitely a trap hand. So we have 18 lands, 4 lay up a stage will be good draws next turn as long as this doesn't get removed. Alright, so looks like it's dead. It's dead, Jin. Alright. Yep. Okay. Into an opt? Yeah. Makes sense. Opting in response here, puts a card on top. Guessing this Eidolon's dead. Please don't have Chandra, please don't have Chandra. Of course you have Chandra. Yep. Guess on a positive note, the Chandra having to tick down means we can leverage our resources pretty effectively to deal with it. Hopefully they don't have a treasure cruise here. Arclight Phoenix, sure. To 5. Chart of course. Discard a Phoenix. Nope, an island. Okay. Braid, sure. Close off some of your outs. That was dumb. I should have done this after combat. It's going to cost me a point of damage, which could end up being relevant. Yep. Not the best draw, but also, I guess, not the worst draw. Yep. Play around Izzet Charm. Okay, one unknown in hand. If I played Lutz there, I could play into an Izzet Charm, because the two cards that make sense to have in their hand would be Izzet Charm or a removal spell. I'm guessing the other card in their hand might be Treasure Cruise, just the way they're playing the particular game. It's either Izzet Charm or Treasure Cruise. Feels like a concession. Yep. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Alright. Thought process on Burn here. Definitely glad we had the rest in pieces. Collective Defiance, I'm still not sure what matchups those are for. Rest of the deck felt pretty functional, as it normally does in this format, at least relative to power level. So, not sure if we'd change anything the next time out, but definitely overall a pretty reasonable experience. Yeah, 3-2. Not really much more you can complain about there. And you know, it looks like the new look format might be actually pretty interesting. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, formats can change over a week or two in the new discovery phase, so we'll see how that goes. And for the YouTube's people, that's going to be it. For Twitch here, I'm going to be switching over to Modern and doing some Modern Burn. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. I'm going to run a quick ad as I'm getting things set up.